Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Josh Padley wins a unanimous decision over Reece Bellotti, picks up some, like I said, WBA trinket thing that gets him a ranking. Look, if you're telling me that you think Padley beat Bellotti, I ain't got a problem with that. If you're saying it's 96, 94. But the judges had it for me way, 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 way too wide. There was one that was, I think, was it 99, 92? What the hell is that? The other two, 97, 93. 7 rounds to 3. I mean, I don't get it. I had this a draw. And admittedly, it was, again, they were very close rounds, very competitive rounds. I thought in the middle of the fight, Bellotti was getting through with some brilliant body work, put a lot into those middle rounds, slowed down a bit after 7 maybe. This was a 10 rounder, by the way. And again, if you think Padley did some good work, moved forward well, landed some decent punches, good left hook from Padley that he used quite well. But Bellotti, I can only assume these judges weren't looking at the body. They weren't looking at body work because they couldn't have noticed it. They must have just said that, oh, Bellotti's moving in and he's smothering his work and he's not doing anything special. Yeah, he was winning rounds, and this is I don't mind the idea that Padley got the decision, but by those margins, no. And again, I had this draw. So did, I think, Carl Frampton on the commentary. I think Bellew gave it to Bellotti, but it was a close fight. It was a very close fight. I mean, Padley he's dropped down a weight, by the way, from lightweight to super featherweight. So he's looking for, I don't know, to sort of change gears in his career, I suppose. And Bellotti, you could tell in the opening 5 rounds, maybe, even though Padley was winning a few, because there just wasn't enough consistent work coming from Bellotti. You could tell that Bellotti was a crafty old veteran, and at British and Commonwealth level, he is a real threat to anyone. And again, Padley moving forward, looking less refined, probably less experienced. Didn't quite have the ring IQ of Bellotti, who was picking his punches, I thought, better. And Padley was winning his rounds through effort and industry, whereas Bellotti was winning them through technique and style, I thought. And then, like I say, in the middle rounds, there was a lot of great body work from Bellotti. Both hands, and Padley on a couple of occasions looked concerned. I think Bellotti had a very good round in, was it the 5th or the 6th, one of the middle rounds, and you thought, oh, he's got it, this is his to lose. And unfortunately, and it may be simply because he's had a long, tough career, he did lose it. He lost those rounds anyway and let it slide somewhat, because in the final few rounds, the final 10th round, I think, did I give that to Bellotti? I think I might have done. But the sort of, 7, 8, 9, I thought Padley definitely came back into it. Now Padley, he's now a full-time pro. This followed the life-changing money that he got from that 9th round stoppage defeat to Shakur Stevenson when he challenged for the WBC lightweight championship, and he then got the contract with Matchroom, and now he's being groomed as a European champ. I don't think he's quite got enough to do things at world level, although he gave Stevenson some rounds. He edges past Bellotti here. Bellotti's 34 now, and like I say, has had a tough career. Padley's 29, and if he overachieves, I think he can certainly be, say, a European champ, but maybe even a top 10 world contender. I don't see him doing much at world level, Padley, to be honest with you, but European, yeah, maybe. But Bellotti's going to be pissed off about this, because he's 34 now, and this comes off the back of a 12th round TKO defeat to Ryan Garner. That was for the British, Commonwealth and European super featherweight titles. And he got stopped in 12. He said, I've got more to give than that. That was a poor performance. When you consider the run he'd been on, I mean, he'd won, I think it was 6 fights. He had 3 defeats to Francisco Grandelli on a split decision defeat in Italy. Jordan Gill beat him on a unanimous decision in 10. Then he got stopped in 3 by Ray Ford. It was considered, this was back in 2021, it was considered that his career was over. He then rebuilt, beating Dean Dodge for the Southern Area super featherweight title. He beat Youssef Hamani, who was 15-1-1 on unanimous decision over 10. Akib Fiaz forced him to retire in 8. He was undefeated in 12. He was picking up belts along the way, British titles, Commonwealth titles. Liam Dillon, unanimous decision over 12. Levi Giles, unanimous decision over 12. Michael Gomez Jr., what was that? Retirement after 10 or 9 or 10, I think it was 10. So he had this fantastic run, and then he bumped into Ghana for the EBU title and didn't quite come off. But this Padley defeat is probably going to hurt him more, because Ghana was, okay, you lose for the EBU title, no problem, you step down a level. But Padley, Bellotti will see this as a perfectly winnable fight that got away. And he's now 20 wins with 15 KOs, 7 defeats, 3 by stoppage. So his career seems to be petering out at 34. And it did look like his engine quite wasn't what it once was. It did look as if he didn't quite have the fuel to sort of put his foot to the gas. The last 3 rounds, 8, 9, 10. He didn't. I think he won the 10th from me, but Padley just looked a little bit too young. Even though, to be honest, Bellotti looked better. That is to say, better trained, better schooled, better. Higher in talent. I think Padley is well on the way to being an overachiever through sheer dedication and effort and motivation. So I don't have anything against Josh Padley, but I do think that it's a little unfortunate the way no one ever gave Bellotti anything. He earned all his belts, his area belts, his two-weight Commonwealth champ and a British title, which he defended several times. He really has had a great career, and if he wants to step away, that's absolutely fine. For Padley, I think he will have to be matched very shrewdly. They'll have to pick the right fights for him. I suppose the EBU title is something to go for, but why not the British title? He's never held the British title, and he came up through the small hall circuit. So even though he's had a few decent runarounds, he had 2. Couple of fights in the Riyadh season. That took about coming out, stepping out into the light, from the small hall stage to. I'm wrong actually. The Riyadh fight against Stevenson, which he lost in 9 rounds, but the Chamberlain fight where he beat the previously undefeated Mark Chamberlain, that was at Wembley Stadium, wasn't it? Yeah, my mistake. But prior to that, it was all lower level venues, shall we say. But he's got Matchroom behind him, so maybe he'll be able to do something. Anyway, look, let me know what you think. Comments below as usual, and please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button if you like the video. Thank you very much. We've got more to come tonight. Let me know what you thought of this one, and bye for now.